Feliz Dia de las Madres. Happy Mother's Day. Of course, every day should be Mother's Day, but today, people around the world take a moment to show signs of appreciation to the women who gave birth to them and to the women who care for them. And so we're going to be talking about women and mothers and those who care for you like a mother. So, Feliz Dia de las Madres, Happy Mother's Day, and this is Latina Literati. If you enjoy books, places, interesting people from past and present, then this is the channel for you. So we're going to start talking today about the female representation, mothers represented in art and history. It really starts from the beginning of civilization. The first absolute pottery figures that we've seen from 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years ago are of women. And they are of mothers. And they are of what is called the mother goddess. The goddess that was asked for protection. And you have in places like Mexico, a place we've talked about it before, where the goddess Tonatzin, important mother goddess in the Aztec pantheon, the conquistadores, the Spanish, come and place the temple, the Basilica of La Virgen de Guadalupe there. So supplanting one mother goddess with another. Really important. This is a figure that is as old as human history. And the celebrations to the mother goddesses are just as old. They're as old as human civilization. It is now thought that women were the transmitters of the first languages, of culture. There is thought now that some of the cave drawings that are very, very old may have been drawn by women because, again, they were communicating concepts to their young to survive, whether it was cave dwellers or the tribes in different parts of the world. Language is transmitted by the primary caretaker, and that's usually the mother. So in talking about different goddesses, we can talk about Hera in the Roman pantheon. We can talk about Isis in Egypt. There is Cybele. There is, in the Mayan belief system, there is Ixchel. And Ixchel is the divine goddess. Her name, Ixchel, actually means iridescent, feminine or woman, and she really does encapsulate women in all the different phases of womanhood, whether it is a young woman, and that's usually represented where she has rabbits around her feet, fertility, as a woman as a mother, and here she is shown with a spindle, where she is spinning life and death for us all. So Ixchel is the patroness of weavers, of medicine, because we know that women were the first doctors, healers through different herbs and through traditional methods, whether it was midwives or other healers that were in charge of ensuring the health of the group, whether that was a tribe or a family or a town. So we know that these are traditional roles for women, and nothing makes you feel better than un abrazo de mamá, a hug from your mother. So today and every day, you should reach out and say thank you to her. So again, going back to Ixchel, there are places like Cozumel and Isla de las Mujeres that were traditional places of pilgrimage. Women of the family would go to these places and make offerings for protection, for healing, for different points in a woman's life. She would go on pilgrimage to Isla Mujeres and to Cozumel to give up offerings to Ixchel to ask for her help throughout life. Ixchel is representative as an older woman. She's usually holding a vessel with water, and so she is seen as represented in bodies of water, especially where there's movement, waterfalls and rivers and lakes. Any water that's shimmering, that's where Ixchel is said to dwell. Ixchel is really the goddess of becoming. So when you say, today I will change, I will do, I will move forward in a different direction, I will pivot, this action of becoming is under the auspices traditionally in the Mayan culture under the goddess Ixchel. And her sons, she has 4 sons, are seen as having dominion over the sacred north, the sacred south, the sacred east, and the sacred west. And so she not only spins our destinies, but this is similar to Hecate in the Western European tradition and Mediterranean tradition, where Ixchel is seen as a young woman, as a mother, and then as a wise older woman. The different phases of womanhood are seen in Ixchel as they would be seen in Hecate in the Mediterranean/European traditions. So on to my favorite part of the video, the book recommendations. So the first book recommendation is, of course, about Ixchel. So Ixchel Wisdom discusses 7 teachings of the Mayan sacred feminine. And so the book is well written. Again, always want you to check your library first. Check your library because we love libraries. We love our local independent booksellers. We want to support our neighbors who have small bookstores. So if it's not in the library and you'd like it, check with your local bookstore. If not, I'm going to link below these books, and hope you can access them through independent online booksellers as well. So 7 traits of Mayan sacred feminine are described in this book, so I'm not going to give any away, but it's well worth it, and I recommend this book, Ixchel Wisdom. The second book is a little bit different. It is called Wandering Souls, and Wandering Souls is a really interesting story about 3 siblings who have to leave their homeland. They make their way to Hong Kong and they resettle in the United Kingdom, and the oldest one becomes the mother figure for the younger brothers. And what does that mean when you're maybe not the mother, but you have to act like a mother and you have the obligations of a mother? And so I thought it was interesting to kind of explore that, because many of us have had mother figures who may not be our biological mother, and of course there are people who care for you every day in a motherly way that aren't necessarily your biological mother, and I think it's important to acknowledge those as well, men and women, who are important in the nurturing of your journey through this world. I also wanted to recommend, I will link below, a link for a movie called The Wisdom of Trauma, because we all face obstacles in our lives. We all have things that we need to heal from. And again, this is the great Dr. Gabor Mate from Canada, who talks about the role of trauma and the role of healing in our lives. So as we think about mothers and we think about how they protect us and how they help us heal, sometimes we have to heal ourselves. And so I thought this was a great movie to share. It's actually a number of talks that Gabor Mate has given in Europe and different places, and so they kind of condensed it into this movie. Highly recommended. It was really makes soul searching and kind of thinking about the things that we can each do to help each other and to help ourselves be the best person and reach our potential, and be sure that we live in a healthy society, in a society that cares for our young, for our women, for our men, and for everybody else as well. So thank you so much. Y feliz Dia de las Madres. Happy Mother's Day. And this is a joint journey. I would love to hear from you, what your thoughts are, and we would love you to subscribe to Latina Literati if you haven't. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We're always interested in hearing about different topics that may be of interest to you, so that we can prepare information and videos for you. So as always, mucho cariño, mucho salud y mucho amor. Gracias.